Hi there, I'm Pat Baer, and this is Pat Baer's Anime Club with a special bonus episode. This is outside of the normal every other Monday where I take a look at something from the world of anime that I want to chat with you about. This is a voting guide because the 2023 Anime Awards are on this year from Crunchyroll. Last year they just did a website listing, probably because of the whole Funimation, Crunchyroll merger and acquisition stuff. But this year they're doing a full award show and the voting is open for 1 week only. So I figured I would put up video up here for you and at least let you know what I'm voting for and maybe give you some background information about some things. I won't know everything about every category, and I'm not allowed to vote in certain categories. The voice actor, there's Japanese voice actor, everyone can vote in that, but depending on the region you have Crunchyroll account in, you will have that language you'll be able to vote for voice actors, and there will be results in categories that didn't vote for, which makes sense because I barely watch any dubs, let alone watch a German dub or something. You know what I mean? Or the Portuguese dub. I don't know. I don't have that detail. But anyway, we'll look at the website, which is crunchyroll.com/anime awards. You'll be able to see a link in the show description here. And we'll take a look. I also have a listing of the winners from last year and the categories from last year because there are some changes in the categories here. So we'll talk about those. But let's go. Here we go. Again, I'm looking over there. The day that I'm putting this video up is the first day of voting, and you can vote every day if you want up until January 25th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Now, also, for just Anime of the Year, you can also have a second vote every day by using a hashtag, and that's on Crunchyroll's Twitter account has that. I don't even know if I'm going to be voting every day, but I'm at least voting right now, and you can check out what I'm going for. We'll go down the line here. You click on the category you want to vote for. It brings up this information. You can watch just the listing. There's no voiceover or anything for that. And then a list of the 6 nominees here. And then you can click on, not just to select, you have to hit the vote button again. It'll tell you where you can watch it. And then also will give you a little bit more detail if it does not fully let you know immediately. Because right now, obviously, it's just putting the name of the show. But if it's a character, it might just say the character's name and then the studio that produced it, but won't tell you the show. So maybe you want to click on that. But anyway, let's dive into it. Anime of the Year, Attack on Titan final season part 2 of 3, we think. 3 is coming out this year, but this was part 2 of the final season, aka season 4. Cyberpunk and Edge Runners, Demon Slayer, Kitsune no Yaiba, Entertainment District Arc, Licurious Recoil, Ranking of Kings Core 2, the second half of the first season, and Spy Family. Spy Family was 2 cores, but just Spy Family in general, both came out this year, whereas Ranking of Kings was 2021 and then 2022. So that's why Ranking of Kings won some awards last year for the 2021 year. Okay, so Attack on Titan final season part 1 won last year. That was, and then season 2 started in December of 2021, but ran obviously into 2022. Licurious Recoil is on this, is in lists more than I would have thought. Now these are compiled by like a lot of industry voting, and there was a whole thing about who can do that and what regions and who is on that, and some people I know are on there, so we'll say that. I'm not involved in that in the nomination process, but yeah, Licorice Recoil had certainly more nominations than I would expect in several categories. Of the shows listed here, is there something that I would like to see? Of course, we'll talk about that. Yes, I would have loved to have seen Mobile Suit Gundam: Witch from Mercury. Came out at the end of last year. Maybe it came out after, only been up for a couple weeks when nominations came in. That's a fault of the nomination process, not a fault of the show. Witch from Mercury was my favorite show of 2022, so it should be on this list. Since it's not, I'm going to go with my number 2 vote, which is Spy Family. That's my number 2 of the year. Do I think it's going to win? I think Attack on Titan could, although I think people liked the part 2 less than like part 1. And with part 3 not out yet, I could see that not necessarily getting the full vote. For me personally, I would say Spy Family is exactly what I want to see win this award because it is a fantastic series and should be Anime of the Year. since we can't vote for Witch from Mercury. So we're going to go with Spy Family. We're going to hit vote. And then, hey, look, I have to enter my email to vote, apparently. So that's fun. I did not recognize that part. So I will not be voting here for all of you. Obviously, you can probably figure out what my email address is. But I am logged in. That's my username for Crunchyroll. Weird, right? So I got to do all that stuff. I am not going to be submitting any votes right now, but I will tell you that is who I'm going to vote for. Previous years, I did not have to enter an email address right there and then. Look, if you wanted to figure out what my main email address is, you could totally figure that out very easily. But yeah, we'll just move on from there. But just know, we all know that if it push came to shove, this is who I'm voting for, is Spy Family. Okay, let's move on to our next category here. We will just close out of that, and then we're going to get our next category, which is Best Original Anime. This is a new category. Best Original Anime is new, showcasing the shows that are not based on video games or light novels or manga. And the nominees for this category are Birdie Wing, Golf Girl Story, Healer Girl, Lycoris Recoil, Orbital Children, Vampire in the Garden, and Yuri Deco. And we'll look at we'll just kind of blow up each one there so you can kind of see it a little bit better. Birdie Wing was a show that I did not particularly enjoy, but I know a lot of people loved it. It's a little too much of a battle anime and a little less of a like girls doing things for my particular taste. Healer Girl, I have heard, is very soothing and fun. I have not watched it. Lycoris Recoil is weird. It's a weird show. I did not get into it, but I know plenty of people that did. And Vampire in the Garden, I know nothing about. I literally don't remember anything about Vampire in the Garden. This might be the first time I've heard of it. Orbital Children, I've heard mixed things about. I've heard some people really liked it. I've heard some less than stellar things about the animation. And Yuri Deco I like Science Saru a lot. I think visually this is really interesting, but I think it is, it has nothing to say, and it is trying to say something. So I think there's very little substance to Yuri Deco. So if I was going to pick one of these, I would say I would probably pick Birdie Wing, just because I know a lot of people really love it. But I don't have any stakes in best animation now. Was there something that I would say, hey Pat, what would you vote for this? What would you want to see on this list? I'm going to bring up my own top 10 list here. I'm just going to go. Hold on one second while I do this. I should have done this ahead of time. I didn't. Again, this is a new category, so I can't tell you who won last year. Let's see. Teppen Laughing Till You Cry I believe has a manga that came out after it, so maybe I would have said Teppen Laughing Till You Cry, which is an original. I'm trying to see. I believe Do It Yourself is an original that had a manga released later. I'm actually going to verify that. If it's Do It Yourself, I think may have had a manga first. I actually see here a manga adaptation started October 5th, 2022. Which is okay. So it came out with the anime, so this was not ahead of it. So I would say then Do It Yourself should be nominated for this and should win it, because Do It Yourself rules. Yeah, we'll say that. I guess Witch from Mercury is technically an anime first, so Witch from Mercury should be nominated as well and win this category, I guess. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right, let me move on to our next category here. Oh, I can just click this. Hey, I'm learning. I can just click on that and go to the next category. Best Character Design. Let me see who won Best Character Design last year. It was for the character design of Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2. Tamashi Hiramatsu won that. Okay, so we're going to click these to make these larger. We'll go through that. Akira Matsuma for Demon Slayer. Kamazaki Shimada for Spy Family. Masanori Shino for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. Remember that? That's out. Um, Atsuko Nozaki for Ranking of Kings Core 2. Kazumasa Ishida for My Dress Up Darling. And Yo Gishimari for Cyberpunk Edge Runners. So let's see. All of these are based on something, so that it's none of these are original shows. Yo Yasunari for Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk visually is fantastic, and the character designs I think are great. Obviously, it is based on Cyberpunk, but like kind of goes its own way, and so I guess I would vote for that. Is there anything for character design that I would see that's not on this list? I mean, I'm gonna keep saying Witch from Mercury, but Witch from Mercury, it's beautiful character design. I think the Gundam and the mobile suit design is fantastic. I think the kids are great. I would love to see that have been on this list. I think that's probably the biggest, like, hey, we didn't do this. Come on, what are we talking about here? So yeah, I would probably say Cyberpunk. So Edge Runners. Best animation. Akibi's Sailor Uniform, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Demon Slayer, Ranking of Kings Core 2, and Spy Family. Again, Witch from Mercury, would love to see that on there because I don't... Look, Core 2 is coming out this year, so we could see in the 2024 Anime Awards lots of love for Witch from Mercury. But since it did come out in 2022, I'm going to keep saying it because it should be in many of these categories and isn't. So let's see. Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is beautiful. I mean, some of it has movie animation stuff and expanded. Spy Family, I think, is fantastic. Attack on Titan is fine and visually always impressive. I think I would give it to Demon Slayer because I think Demon Slayer just looks real good. Just always looks real good and animates really well and is beautiful, and they don't skimp on anything. There's no cut corners in Demon Slayer, so I guess I would go with that. Best New Series. Best New Series is the, hey, this isn't probably going to, be in... Maybe this isn't going to be Anime of the Year because of so many sequels. Also, should say, Mob Psycho Season 3 did not make the cutoff, which is bonkers, because Mob Psycho Season 3 should be in a bunch of these categories. That is the fault of this. That they should have done it later in the year so that shows that actually came out in 2022 could be nominated. Call of the Night is visually gorgeous. That maybe should have been Best Animation. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Lycorious Recoil, My Dress Up Darling, Spy Family, and Your Boy Coming. Your Boy Coming, you'll see in a few categories here. I did not love that show, but it is fun and interesting. So, Best New Series. I'm going to go with Spy Family. I'm just going to go with Spy Family. Core 2 came out as well. It's great. We're going to have more. There's a movie in the second season. Spy Family. It's Spy Family. Best Continuing Series. So this theoretically should be for those long-running shows, those shows that had multiple seasons that don't always get the love because they're not the hot new thing. Maybe ongoing series, the ones that aren't seasonal. One could argue that on this list, one should find My Hero Academia, who is just getting better and better. And this last year was incredible. I would say that My Hero Academia should be on there. One Piece makes a lot of sense. That's a beautiful continuing series. We also have Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Kaguya-sama's Love is War, because the third season, Ultra Romantique, came out this year, Made in Abyss, and One Piece. I would say that My Hero and Mob Psycho should be on this list. I want to give this to Kaguya-sama's Love is War because that show is great and its third season was phenomenal, and I want to give it some love. I think also One Piece would be totally worth giving because this year in One Piece has been great. The last 2 years in One Piece have been great, so I can see that as well. And Attack on Titan will probably win. Best Opening Sequence. So this is not Best Opening Song. I gotta be clear. This is the sequence. It is the song. It is the animation. It is all that. So we'll click on these so you can see this is from your boy Coming. We've got Mixed Nuts from Spy Family, the opening from Spy Family. We've got Naked Hero from Ranking of Kings Core 2. We've got The Rumbling from Attack on Titan. Final Season Part 2. We have This Fire from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which is the most fun one to say. And we have Zenko Sanka from Demon Slayer. I would say what should be on this list and isn't is probably the opening for... Oh, I could say that Demon Slayer won last year for Best Animation. I should just clear that up. And Best Opening Sequence was the Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1 one for that. So don't necessarily want to go with The Rumbling this year for that. I would say Teppen Laughing Till You Cry's opening is really fun and really gets the vibe of what's going on there. Do It Yourself's opening was a good little vibe. So maybe that would be, that should be included. Mixed Nuts is just really fun. It's visually really interesting, even if it's not necessarily the animation of the show, and gets a cool chance to see what's going on with these characters. So I would say I would vote for that. I personally would vote for Mixed Nuts, but you should go and look all these up and see. Best ending sequence last year went to Demon Slayer, which is totally valid. We have Akuma no Ko from Attack on Titan. We have Spy Family. We have My Dress Up Darling's ending theme. We have the ending theme to Kobe Can't Communicate second series, which is really Core 2, but they called it Season 2 because Netflix likes to do stuff like that. My Heart Has Surrendered from Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic, which is the third season. And from Call of the Night, Yufukashino Yuta. Now, I would say the opening to Call of the Night is actually probably better and maybe should have been nominated for that. Are there any ending themes I think should be on this list before I start making my case for what I think is the best one? I mean, Mob Psycho 100 Season 3 should be in the both opening and closing. Shigemori's Not Just a Cutie's ending theme, because this is the ending sequence. So the song is really good, but also it imagines itself as an endless runner where you're dodging things because the main character guy is clumsy. So Shigemori has to kind of like help him dodge things. And that's really cute and fun. That's a great ending theme. And sequence. Comedy is actually, honestly, could totally win this category, and I'll be fine with comedy winning this category because it is a lovely little bop and sees the characters being fun together, and it doesn't have the action of the opening, but it's got the chill vibes, and we love that. But I'm going to make the case for My Heart Has Surrendered from Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic, which is the third season, because it's one of those ending themes where like they do in like shonen anime where it's like, oh, imagine a what if. And in this case, it's a send-up parody slash homage to Starship Troopers, but also to space battle anime in general. And it doesn't make any sense for the show. It's a beautiful song, and there's like, oh, it's like imagine the characters being in this like epic war against monsters, but also Kaguya is the queen of the monsters, but our main character knew her. So it's also kind of a little bit of like Valley of the Wind. Like it's beautiful and great, and it's all a dream at the end of the ED that Shirogane is having. The art style is beautiful. It is unbelievably great. Please watch My Heart Has Surrendered. Just look up Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic ED 1 because there are two EDs, even though one of them only existed for one episode. The rest of the season has this closing song. It's gorgeous. It reminds me of those EDs. It's a kind of ED where you wish the show was about that. Even if I love Kaguya-sama Love is War, what if it was this instead? So that's my vote. Best score. Who won best score last year? Let me look this up. Is it going to say that? Sorry. I thought it had best score in here. Oh yeah, best score went to Demon Slayer. We've got Spy Family and Cyberpunk and your boy Coming and Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2, Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun, and of course Demon Slayer. Now I could definitely see Demon Slayer winning this again because the music in Demon Slayer, the score rips. Spy Family score also top notch, very good. This could be pretty much anyway. Your boy Coming could finally get some kind of nod because I feel like that isn't super popular, but is it cool? It's got a good hip hop vibe to it, so I could see that. Best film. I'm kind of breezing through this because this has already been 20 minutes, and I've got more to talk about here, so I'm kind of speeding through the ones I don't have much to say about. Bubble, Dragon Ball Super Superhero, Inu-Oh. I'm going to click on that one because I don't know anything about Inu-Oh. It's Sansaro made it. Oh, nice. I have not seen that. Inu-Oh. Jujutsu Kaisen 0, Deer King, and One Piece Film Red. So, me personally, I would give this Jujutsu Kaisen 0 because I think this was like the prequel series, but it literally was written as like a one-off that then became Jujutsu Kaisen. So you don't have to know Jujutsu Kaisen to enjoy it because it was written first. It wasn't written after. So it is a movie that like is canon, which is always fun. So I would say probably that. I've heard very good things about Bubble. Bubble's on my watch list. I would have liked to have seen on this list possibly maybe the Laid Back Camp movie, which I thought was a lot of fun. That would have been nice to see on there. What did they put best film? Demon Slayer, Mugen Train won last year, and of fucking course it did. So I would say Jujutsu Kaisen 0 should win this. Best anime song. This is a new category. Could be an insert song, or it could be an opening or closing song. Or a one-off song from a show. So we've got, so you will see songs. So this isn't the sequence. This is just the song itself. It's a song of banger. We've got Chiki Banan from your boy Coming. We've got Comedy, which is the closing theme from Spy Family. My Nonfiction from Kaguya-sama Love is War, Ultra Romantic. Shall We Dance from Shadow's House Season 2. Anime I Forgot came out last year. New Genesis, which is Uta from One Piece Film Red, which is like the insert song, and that comes back several times, I believe. I haven't seen the movie. And The Rumbling, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2. So, the clear winner in this category is, of course, Comedy, because the song is a bop and great. I've got it on a playlist. Outside of the animation and the closing theme, still great song. Probably going to win. I could definitely see Comedy picking this up. But here is my vote. Here is what I would like to see best anime song win. I would like to see My Nonfiction by Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic. It is the ED2. It is only the ending theme for one episode, but it also is important to the episode itself. We must appreciate and acknowledge when one of my biggest cringe things in anime is done well, and that is characters from the show by voice actors who are not skilled in the art rapping well. This is a battle rap song between Shirogane and Chika, and it is good. There is a subplot among this season of Shirogane is bad at music and rhythm in general, and he really loves hip hop and finds out he's bad at rapping at karaoke and feels terrible about it. But through the art of rap, he is expressing himself in a rap battle, and then Chica's there as well doing her thing. There's 2 raps in the episode. This is the closing theme rap, and it is the me expressing my feelings and feeling it, and the animation style is wild at the end of the episode, and it is so good. It is the best anime song of last year, and we should reward it because they succeeded. Aharon-san wa Hakaranai does have a rap episode that is fun and not embarrassing, but it's not as like this. That's just them rapping how they're feeling, communicating via rap, and they do a pretty good job. This is way better. Um, Best director last year went to the director of Odd Taxi, Baku Kinoshita. So we'll go in here. We have the Demon Slayer director, Haru Shotazaki. We have Hiroyuki Imeshi from Cyberpunk. Kazuhiro Furuhashi from Spy Family, for Spy Family. Shingo Adachi for, of course, Recoil. Yusuke Hara for Ranking of Kings Core 2. And Yorichiro Hayashi from Attack on Titan. I can see Attack on Titan picking up the win for this. My vote goes for Spy Family because I think Spy Family rules. I could also be very happy with Demon Slayer. And you know what? Cyberpunk. I don't know. I could go either way, anywhere for that. So we used to have Best Antagonist and Best Protagonist. Those categories are gone. Last year, Best Antagonist went to Eren Yeager, which is great. He is the villain. And Odokawa from Odd Taxi won Protagonist. This year, it is just Best Main Character. We're doing Best Main Character, Best Supporting Character, and there's a later category in here that we'll get to that replaces another 2 categories. So they used to also just be male and female. They got rid of that, so these can be any gender on the spectrum of Best Main Character. We got Boji, Shisato from, of course, Recoil, Eren Yeager, David Martinez, Lloyd Forger, and Marin Kitagawa. Now, obviously, Witcher Mercury is not on this list, so we don't have my number 1, which would be, it's like, yeah, I mean, Witcher Mercury would be on here, right? Obviously. Shikimori from Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie should probably be on this list as well as the main character. Mob, I wouldn't mind seeing on this list. I think that's probably it from my list of anime that I like to see there. Boji rules. Could totally see that. Lloyd is great. I'm kind of fine with any of these. My Dress Up Darling showing up in Best Character of the Year is interesting. Best Main Character, that's interesting. I guess that's what's interesting. Best Supporting Characters, we've got Hayasaka from Kage Love Is War. She had a lot to do in this season. Good supporting character. A lot of depth to her. That was interesting. Anya for Best Supporting Character is a great nod. Yor, I could say that because here is a supporting character. I think she's maybe more of a main character. Tengen from Demon Slayer. Kage, our shadow friend. And Rebecca from Trigger. It's Anya. Anya is the... Look, I is great. I'm voting Anya. If I can vote for Anya, I'm going to vote for Anya. Is Anya in the category? I'm voting for Anya. What else are we doing here? Let's see. Who else we got? Must protect at all cost character. This is replacing Best Boy and Best Girl. It is the most protect at all cost character. I think it should just be called Best in quotation marks, but whatever. They came up with the name. It's Anya, Boji, Kage, Kotaro from Kotaro Lives Alone, Marin, and Shoko. Look, Shoko is great. Shoko Komi, we love Komi. Does Komi need to be protected? No. Anya does need to be protected. That's the thing. It said must protect. If it said best character, then it's Anya. Then we go with Anya. But I'm going to go in the spirit of the name of the category, the must protect at all cost category. What character must be protected at all costs? Kotaro Sato. Kotaro Sato must be protected at all costs. Don't watch this anime because it's sad. It's unbelievably gut-wrenchingly sad. It is the idea of a little boy that moves into a apartment complex by himself, and there's a bunch of other lovable losers who all kind of come together because this boy is trying his best. It is not a light anime. And they try to trick you into thinking it is. It's not. It's fucking devastating. Kotaro Sato needs a hug, and he needs a support system, and he needs people to love him. So he must be protected at all costs. Boji must be protected, but Boji also can protect himself, and that is the beauty of Ranking of Kings. And Anya's got must be protected, but he's got some cool parents and a dog. And Komi's got the idea that some people want to be her friend immediately is that's it. We're good. But Kotaro needs us. Kotaro needs everybody. Oh. Best action. What when one best? Oh, I guess I'll tell you that best boy last year was Boji. He already won best boy. And Nobara from Jujutsu Kaisen won best girl, she is best girl, so that's great. Also, they got rid of best fight scene, which is a bummer because that some stuff doesn't get into other categories, but I guess best action is there for that, so sure. Best action, which is this category, last year won Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2 won, which was good. Attack on Titan, Cyberpunk, JoJo, Demon Slayer, The Quest Recoil, and Spy Family. Spy Family is a good action, but I'm kind of there more for the character stuff myself. JoJo's this season has been good. It's probably not my favorite. Cyberpunk action was great. Is there any action? Witch from Mercury should be on this list. I keep saying it, but it should be. Witch from Mercury is the Gundam duels, or the mobile suit duels that involve Gundams are amazing. So that should be in there. I would give it to Demon Slayer. I'll just give it to Demon Slayer. Best comedy. Kaguya-sama Love is War, Ultra Romantic. Kotaro Lives Alone is not a comedy. You could argue maybe it's a dark comedy, but I wouldn't say that. That is a drama. That is a sad tears anime. My Dress Up Darling, Spy Family, Uncle from Another World, Ya Boy Coming. So, Uncle from Another World, I don't even know if all of the, because we had to stop and then we had to restart because it's a Netflix series, but it was coming out weekly, but it started a couple weeks late. But it had to pause production due to many things, including believed to be an outbreak of COVID at the studio, but also they were saying that, like, hey, even without this is a troubled production. So I don't even know did every episode of this show come out. I'm looking on Netflix here. Okay, no. So on Netflix, at least, there's only 7 episodes of this show. And I don't even know if more episodes came out. I'm gonna look it up on Wikipedia. Literally, this is a show that, like, the art style is so rough, and I love that they made an anime. I'm gonna see if more episodes came out. Okay, so apparently, one more episode came out in Japan. Episodes. Or maybe more came out. I don't know. Well, I'm getting conflicting information, but at the very least, it looks like Netflix didn't pick up the rest of the series, or didn't put out the rest of the series, but maybe it came out in Japan. I'm sorry, I don't have as much information as I was like. It looks like it did air again in Japan, and restarted and then finished up last season. Anyway, this is just fun here, because that is a comedy. It's a comedy of errors in a way that I appreciate. Spy Family is very funny and charming. I could see that winning. Again, Kotaro Lives Alone, not a comedy. Fuck off. My Dress Up Darling, also I wouldn't call that a comedy. I would have loved to have seen, let's see. Aharon-san Wahakaranai should be on this list because it is a fantastic romantic comedy. That is very funny and silly. I would give it to Kaguya-sama Love is War, Ultra Romantic. Very funny season. Spy Family I could also see winning this, just because it is funny, but I would call it an action series that's funny, not a comedy. Best Drama. 86 Part 2, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Dance Dance Danseur, Made in Abyss, and Kotaro Lives Alone. I could see Kotaro Lives Alone winning this. I could see Made in Abyss winning this. I think 86 got a lot of love for its core one and not as much love for its core two or part two. So I can see that. Dance Dance Danceur I never got into, but I know some people really love it. Is there any dramas that I would have put on this list from my list of top 10 anime? Probably not. Probably not. I would say best. Oh, I'll go back to best action for a moment. No, you know what? I'll put this in. I'll put it in best fantasy. That isn't going to get nominated. That I would put in there. You got Demon Slayer, Made in Abyss, Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, Ranking of Kings, The Case Study of Vanitas, and Overlord Season 4. I guess I should say that Best Drama was To Your Eternity last year, and Comey Can't Communicate won Best Comedy. I can see both those. That makes sense. Best Fantasy last year was That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2, which was the right choice. This season, I would put on this list some isekai that didn't end up on this list. I would put My Isekai Life, I Gained a Second Character Class and Became the Strongest Sage in the World, because it's a really fun fantasy series. And Trapped in a Dating Sim, The World of Otome Games is Tough for Mobs, is also a very good one of those. So I could also see that making the list as well. They didn't, but I could see them making that list. I would give it to Demon Slayer. I give it to Demon Slayer. That is probably the best fantasy of the year. I could see that. Best romance series. This is not best couple, which was always like Kaguya-sama kept winning that, and they're clearly not a couple. They like each other, but they're not a couple. So this is best romance anime. Call of the Night, Kaguya-sama Love is War, Ultra Romantic, Comey Can't Communicate, second series, Love After World Domination, My Dress Up Darling, and Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. Aharon-san wa Hakaranai is a lovely, slow, and patient romantic comedy series that should be on this list because it's very good. I would say Call of the Night, I do not think is a romance show, in my opinion. It is a cool fantasy series, and maybe it should have been in fantasy. Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic is finally a romantic comedy show because romance is moving. People are making moves in this season. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, I have to give my vote to because Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie starts with the two characters dating. They're already dating. How unbelievably cool is that? They're already in a relationship. So that's the best romance. Two more categories left. Everyone gets to vote for Best Voice Artist Performance, Japanese. We've got Asumi Tenzaki. Oh, we'll click on these so we can see here. It is Anya's voice actress. We've got Chisato's voice actress, the lead in that show. We've got Jolene's voice actress. I mean, great. Totally great. We have multiple voice actors, right? Yeah. Voice performances in here for Made in Abyss. The voice actor for Tanjiro, who does great, and I could totally see winning this category. I should say Best Romance was Horimiya last year, which was the right choice. And Japanese voice actor last year was Eren Yeager. Could see that. Who is up for this year's again for part 2. I would like to see the thing that I think should win is probably Tanjiro because he's just an incredible job. Wouldn't mind seeing Jolene's voice actress. We vote for Anya here, right? We vote for Anya here. We vote for Anya here. And now there are a bunch of other languages. I cannot vote for those because of where I am logged in, but I can vote for English dub. I do not watch a lot of dubs, so I do not know how Amanda Lee did for My Dress Up Darling. I do not know how Shermie Lee for Kotaro did, because I did not watch any of the dub of that. Do not know how Yours voice actress is in the dub. I did watch a few episodes of the dub because I want to support ProZD, Sungwon Cho, who was Kage. Do not know how Zach did on David, and forgot that there was a dub for Dragon Ball Super Superhero, but Zeno Robinson got nominated for that. And that feels like we want to nominate Zeno Robinson, who is rad. We do want to nominate him for something. David Wald won last year for Skate the Infinity for Adam. I mean, I would vote for ProZD. I would just vote for ProZD. That would be if I was going to vote for somebody like that. And then special categories, which we cannot vote for, Special Achievement Award and Presenter's Choice. And I don't know what those are or what those mean, but they're just... I don't know if every presenter gets to make a choice for something, or some of them. What the fuck does that mean? And I don't know what Special Achievement... That's just their honorary award. That means they... because they're doing it live, they got someone big to come and they're giving them an award. That's usually what that means. Anyway, that's it. This was too long of a video because it was 40 minutes. Thanks for watching all of this for my voting guide. Go to crunchyroll.com/anime awards to vote. And thanks for watching this long video. Check out my top 10 list, which is also in the link below on co-host. And subscribe if you haven't already. Goodbye.